After we adopt Ripple with the HODL as well, it makes the whole transactions to be much more smoother.
That's not going to be, there's no roadblocks to that. These guys will know, our partners will know, and it's just an incredible sort of liberating process. We want to grow and without any roadblocks.
XRP Ledger is, world-leading public blockchain, which was built for payments and issuing currencies. So it's a natural fit for CBDCs, but the use cases have come from the private sector. The list just goes on and on and on. There's literally, endless potential use cases.
And he said Bank of America stands to gain really big when the settlement happens, because they're going to have a huge competitive advantage over their competitors by using HODL in the marketplace. So Brad is very, very bullish.
We have a so-called MiCA regulation, including for stable coins. The so-called crypto winter of early 22 should not be an excuse for complacency. On the contrary, it's time to act.
I question, well, what do we know about Solana? What do we know about XRP? And the answer is zero.
Assets. The SEC is hell-bent on expanding the size of its crypto enforcement division and using enforcement to unconstitutionally expand its jurisdiction. Under Chair Gensler, the SEC has become a power-hungry regulator, politicizing enforcement, baiting companies to, quote, come in and talk.
Enjoy the ride, pal.
If you got a bag, welcome to the party. Welcome back to some more Moon o'clock news. No breakfast, no coffee, just straight extra foolishness. Shout out to the latest sub. Appreciate you stopping by, tuning in. Go ahead, throw on those pilot shades. Buckle up, because the future's extra foolish. Let's go full speed, full throttle into the cryptoverse. We got XRP currently trading right under 39 cents, about 38.5 cents, up about 3.15% in the past 24 hours. We got the total global cryptocurrency market cap today at 867 billion, down about 0.1% in the past 24 hours. We got BTC right around 16,700. We got ETH right around 1,200. And we got Stellar XLM in the number 28 spot, about 9 cents, up about 0.8% in the past 24. Ripple says our customers refuse to let legacy financial systems slow them down. Managing Director of Meta at Ripple welcomed on-demand liquidity customers to share the benefits of incorporating crypto solutions like XRP into their businesses.
After we adopt Ripple with the HODL as well, it makes the whole transactions to be much more smoother. It used to take half a day at least. Right now, it's only 5 minutes to get the funds from Australia all the way to Singapore within 5 minutes times. And it allows to create more business opportunity for us as well. So based on what we have seen after we adopt, we have seen 15% growth from the day we start until today.
We can scale up, scale down. We know when our peaks are, and we can give these guys a heads up, the Ripple team a heads up. This is going to be the forecast we have ahead. And we've done that for, we've got Lunar New Year coming up. It's a huge part of our year. And we know that that's not going to be, there's no roadblocks to that. These guys will know, our partners will know, and it's just an incredible sort of liberating process. We want to grow and without any roadblocks.
All roads lead to the RippleNet. No roadblocks. Cross-border payment flows are estimated to reach 156 trillion in 2022. Companies can benefit from faster, cheaper, and more efficient crypto-enabled payments across industries and use cases using crypto-enabled payments on the XRP ledger, 156 trillion. Ratha K, don't miss the news that MFS Africa is now a Ripple on-demand liquidity partner. Amidst all the news of the day, this is potentially a huge partnership. Why so exciting? A humble beginning with obvious and moving to the not so obvious. GateHub says, it was a privilege being part of Ripple Swell. Our CEO was a speaker at the DeFi, how blockchain technology is being leveraged by institutional finance panel, pointing out, if we started building GateHub today, we would choose the XRP ledger again. James Wallace, VP of Central Bank Engagements and CBDCs at Ripple, took the stage on day one at Swell Global to discuss why the technology that powers the XRP ledger is primed for central bank digital currencies, all the money, and exactly who will need to strategize for a CBDC future.
XRP Ledger is, world-leading public blockchain, which was built for payments and issuing currencies. So it's a natural fit for CBDCs. We've taken that and basically providing a private version of that for the central banks. Something that's going to be absolutely critical for the success of CBDCs and the adoption of them is the relationship between the public sector and the private sector. As I mentioned earlier, we view that the public sector, the central banks working with the government will be the designers, the rule setters in terms of policy, and the implementers of the platform for the core capabilities around wholesale and retail CBDC, but that the use cases will come from the private sector. The list just goes on and on and on. There's literally endless potential use cases.
Where did they get a HODL of that HODL? XRP. DAI says awesome recap of conversation with Big Brad Garlinghouse. Link to.
Okay, so I'm going to take you through my notes from the day. It's quite loud in here, so I apologize. First thing is I met with Brad Garlinghouse face-to-face, and Brad was so confident. He's got an air of confidence about him that's unbelievable. I met Brad first in 2019 back in Singapore, and he's even more confident today than he was back then. He made it clear that they're ready to settle with the SEC as long as they can get clarity on XRP. I asked him if American companies were waiting on the sidelines to jump in the game once clarity happens, and he said absolutely. And he specifically said Bank of America. Bank of America is a huge partner of Ripple, and he said Bank of America stands to gain really big when the settlement happens because they're going to have a huge competitive advantage over their competitors by using HODL in the marketplace. So Brad is very, very bullish. When asked what motivates Brad every day, Brad just said, I want to put a dent in the universe. We've heard that from Navi and Gipta, and Brad has the same philosophy. So that was fantastic. That was my one-on-one with Brad.
If that don't get you extra bullish, you must not have no big bags. Bags packed. Getting ready for ISO 20022 with the deadline of March 20th, 2023 approaching. Many African banks will have already prepared and adapted for the change, but some will still be in the process of getting ready. ISO 222, March 2023. XRP Darren Faymore 21, You Today reports XRP standard to be used by major Commonwealth Bank. The article quoting their response to migration to ISO 222. Also, Crypto Granny posted this. It says XRP standard to be used by major Commonwealth Bank. It says Australian Common Bank announces migration to the XRP standard of payments. Bank of Australia's largest financial conglomerate, Common Bank, has announced it will be migrating to cross-border payments to the ISO 222 standard this month. Common Bank plans to complete this transition of all payments conducted by it to the advanced standard by November 2025. Big banks are lining up ready for that on-demand liquidity. Link 2 says PolySign CEO Jack McDonald explains the services that PolySign provides for its clients on a B2B, B2C basis, all of which are supported by the company's institutionalized corporate governance framework. Invest in PolySign today.
The customer is institutions, broadly speaking. And we have now really three businesses underneath the PolySign umbrella. So the PolySign entity is not only the holding company where we've raised all of our equity, where I'm a shareholder, where Link2 is a shareholder, et cetera, but we also create a lot of blockchain-enabled infrastructure and software at the parent company level. We have two operating companies today and a third that's really in the lab, if you will. The first is Standard Custody and Trust, a wholly owned subsidiary that is a New York trust company, a qualified custodian, a trust bank regulated by banking regulators in New York, which allows us to offer custody and escrow services for a wide range of assets, securities and non-securities. The second business, which we purchased 4 or 5 months ago, is MG Stover, which is the premier fund administrator in the digital asset space. There, the clients are also institutions who are investing in either liquid tokens or venture private companies, generally speaking, not exclusively, but generally speaking, in the digital asset Web3 ecosystem. The third business that we have, it's a much more nascent business, and we're really in the incubation tank, if you will. Building this out is called AtomicNet, which is a cross-chain settlement layer providing instant and atomic settlement for a broad range of asset transfers. So, and this could ultimately be a B2B2C sort of business where ultimately the end consumer will benefit from the type of infrastructure that we are building and really providing a connective tissue or a bridge or a network of networks between other participants, all ultimately targeting the democratization of finance. And so we're trying to help do our part to lower the bar to bring a broad range of assets into the flow for retail investors and institutions alike.
Darren Moore, the regulations were already decided by the G20. The USA has taken its time. FTX is now a catalyst to implement these laws.
It's operating abroad. I mean, that's the other piece of this. As long as this is a global business and we have these tokens operating in other places, no matter what, to some degree, it's going to rebound and redound to us.
I mean, this is it's a huge issue. Gary and I participate in a lot of multilateral organizations with other jurisdictions, and crypto and crypto regulation has been a high priority for several years right now. You're right, the sort of borderless nature of the technology makes it even harder than traditional financial markets, whether it's on the security side or the derivative side. Certainly swaps markets are very international in nature, but there has to be coordination among the international regulators. Ultimately, though, having a regulatory structure within the US, which I think has to be the priority, would then prevent, by law, both on the civil side and the criminal side, of having these, issuers, these exchanges offering services to US customers.
I would sum it up saying that we have an international consensus in the G20 and in the FSB. And the key challenge now is to implement it in each major jurisdiction. We did it in Europe. We have a so-called MiCA regulation, including for stable coins. The so-called crypto winter of early 22 should not be an excuse for complacency. On the contrary, it's time to act.
The Bank de France governor just let you know that the group of 20 of the largest countries have already decided what crypto regulations will be. The EU has already acted with MiCA regulations. The rest of the G20 will follow.
Well, chart breaking, FTX holds cryptos worth about $659,000, bankruptcy filing shows. Joe Cat says an admitted $7 billion error in his assessment of how much risk to customer deposits his trades were taking easily makes him one of the worst traders of all time. Gary, you still there? Breathe the standard, drain the real corruption. Crypto says XRP had a nice bounce off the support today and a pretty solid daily close. Any break above this resistance will probably take us to the daily 21 MA, currently around 42 cents. XRP Bags backed. Egrat Crypto says XRP, bad scenario. I've been asked why I don't chart the downside of XRP because I have high conviction in XRP for the long run. Downside is limited, but the upside is unlimited. Any purchase below $1 is a once in a lifetime opportunity. XRP, one possible bad scenario might be similar to case B. XRP down to about 11 cents. Jungle Inc. Jim Cramer compares XRP to Enron, states that the government doesn't feel crypto needs to be regulated.
I question, well, what do we know about Solana? What do we know about XRP? I mean, and the answer is zero. And the reason why we know zero is because the government doesn't feel that it should be regulated. And we put them up. We could put up lots of it. We could have put up Enron. That was a very well traded stock. So, I mean, I question why we put these up. I know that that's maybe seditious, but I question why we're not allowed to question any of these things.
XRP Rain Dancers, Good Time NFT, says the first batch of Rain Dancers sold. Thank you guys so much. It means the world to the team. Next drop hits in a few hours. Keep posting when it's live here, so make sure to set notifications to on for first dibs. James Rule XRP says there is a solution. BPM Wallet and the BPM revelers are going to eliminate the ticket price gouging on the XRP ledger. Taylor Swift tickets listed for thousands after millions flood Ticketmaster. BPM coming to level the playing fields. Crypto Talk XRPL. How the XLIST vote works. XLIST coin holders can vote for their favorite XRPL project using their Sum wallet. The balance of the XLIST held in the wallet is the number of votes given to the XRPL project. One XLIST equals one vote. XLIST never leaves your wallet. Vote for your favorite project to be listed on an exchange. XLIST. Shout out to Not Financial Advice Crypto. Despite pristine evidence all over the internet exposing blatant SEC corruption, the case against XRP remained gridlocked. Many grew fearful the truth simply no longer mattered, but one man did not. His name was Big Brad Garlinghouse, and it was time for him to talk his ish. Link down below if you want to check out this fire video from Not Financial Advice Crypto. Shots fired. With that being said, Bagman and Bag Ladies, understand there is a new day coming, and I hope you got those utility bags packed, locked and loaded.
The SEC isn't interested in clarifying what areas of the crypto industry fall under SEC jurisdiction. We know that because FinHub, that you've referred to, the SEC division focused on crafting crypto regulation, has essentially dissolved under Gensler. Nonetheless, while abandoning good faith attempts to clarify how the Commission's existing authority applies to digital assets, the SEC is hell-bent on expanding the size of its crypto enforcement division and using enforcement to unconstitutionally expand its jurisdiction. Under Chair Gensler, the SEC has become a power-hungry regulator, politicizing enforcement, baiting companies to, quote, come in and talk to the Commission, then hitting them with enforcement actions and discouraging good faith cooperation. Understand, sir, there is a new day coming. Thank you. I yield back.
Where will you be when the XRP Army and the A-Team expose the corrupt SEC? I hope you got those bags packed, locked and loaded in your own self-custody bag. I am the XRP Bagman, the Moon Commander, currently up here on the mothership, stuffing some bags and enjoying the show. Appreciate you stopping by, tuning in, smashing those likes for some more Moon O'Clock News. Hope y'all continue to stay extra bullish out there. Continue holding those good vibes. Remember to sell the FUD. Buy up that bag. Don't forget to spread that liquid love. Also, if you're new here, don't forget to drop a subscribe. Drop a comment down below. All the OG diamond hands out there, drop a comment down below. Drop an elbow on that like button from the top rope, and we'll catch you up here, top floor, for the Moon Party. BYOB. Bring your own bag. Peace out, crypto ghost.
Baby, they all make fun of us. Generational wealth. James, XRP Bags. Batman, eating bags like trash, man.